Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles.
The shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They can't be any better as we hit the halfway mark. A perfect 7-0 on the year.
And when we looked at this team in August and we looked at the schedule, we thought they had the potential to get off to a hot start. But I don't think either of us expected 7-0.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This one taken just inside the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So here come the Ravens now, ready to get the football for the first time. And they will be led out by their 6'6" quarterback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Let's go! 38!
And on the ground they go with a running back. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
He'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And now the starting defense for the Browns.
I'm looking at Jabril Peppers in the secondary, the 25th pick in the 1st round in 2017. Played in 13 games, 57 tackles and an interception. But what I like most about him, his versatility. He can play cornerback, but I think he's best at safety and a little bit of what they call nickel or dime linebacker, where he can go inside and use his tackling ability in the running game.
Here we go! White 90!
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half-dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're an offense and you saw that on tape, you've got to think to yourself, maybe I bring people in, keep them in, and try and protect my quarterback. It didn't work on that play.
So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. The defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
Let's go!
Now they try the right side here. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20.
All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now. Defensively, here are the starters for Baltimore. This unit, 3rd best in the NFL in stopping the run.
Numbers don't tell you everything, but they do paint a pretty good picture. We're talking about 2 top 5 units going at each other. 1 in running the ball, 1 in stopping the run. I think this is going to be a whole lot of fun myself.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed!
They'll set up a throw into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Let's go! What?
And they'll run it here. Powering it, and he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Ravens have taken the early lead.
In as many coaches' meetings as we sit in, we hear the word finish all the time, don't we? And on that play, the back actually finished getting into the end zone, breaking the last tackle. Tried to wrap up, tried to use the proper technique, just wasn't able to get it done.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now the Browns coming out on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. He sets to fire deep. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. It's a big play there for the Browns. And even 60 yards for him on the ground. So he rips off a great run and shows you why this year he's top 10 in rushing in the league.
And looks like he's trying to move up fast on the leaderboard, doesn't he? Top 10, looks like he's trying to get into the top 5.
Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green 30.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll drop the throw. Escaping the... And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
And that is incomplete.
And that was a nice play. He knocked it away, but obviously you want the interception in this situation. You want to take away any chance that they have any decision to make on 4th down. But things happen so quickly in the end zone in this compressed area of the field that you're just happy to knock it away and not allow a touchdown.
So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow.
Either
not the tie, but yeah.
Either was good.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
So this game's not very far along, and he's already found the end zone once, and now he started this drive with another big gain, another 1st down run. I've got to wonder if I'm the defensive coordinator, what do I do in this situation? It's only the first quarter, but do I go ahead and sell out and try and slow him down and make him beat me another way? Because the risk is if I don't, he ends up having a monster game.
Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Here we go. What? None.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
Back to throw here. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case,
oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Well, this is something we have seen before. Those super long-distance field goal attempts, you worry about trajectory of the ball because they've got to kick it so far they don't necessarily pop it up in the air real fast. And then you got to worry about your offensive line trying to get those hands down and out of the air so they do have an attempt to block it.
Yeah, and tough to tell, but you just know from this distance over 60 yards, it's going at a low angle.
It has to start off just so it has the distance to get there. But the harder job, I think, is for the guys trying to protect because ordinarily you just protect and don't worry about it. But here you know it's going to be a lower trajectory kick. How do you get those hands out of those lanes and get them down?
Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down.
He's not exactly had a banner start to this game. We're still in the first quarter. He's already thrown an interception, and that should have been the 2nd one.
Now a handoff looking right. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
Now back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So finally completes his first pass. Credit the defense, though. They've been showing him some different looks, keeping him off balance.
Yeah, I like the observation that you have there, because when you give him different looks, and you give any quarterback different looks, it takes just a little bit longer to process sometimes, and you don't throw the ball with the same confidence. You're not sure that that's where you should go with the football. And that's worked for the defense early in this game.
And they're waving pressure too much. Down he goes. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. Perfect athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
They'll get 4 back there on the run, but now they're looking up at a 3rd and 12 situation.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
And we see another pitch.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Please tell me this doesn't come off as snarky, but that's a relative chip shot. I mean, you've got to be able to execute that one. I don't care what they design on the other side about trying to block the kick. That should be 3 points on the board.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. If you're out at 55, 60 yards, low trajectory from here, you get that thing up, this should be 3.
Yeah, there's nothing routine in football, but this one really almost should be. Snap, hold, kick, ball through the post. Didn't happen that way.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off. He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Let's go. Red 38.
They'll set up to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. Ground attack here, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Flush to his right. Now the ball comes loose, but I think Brown was able to recover, and they'll indeed hold on to the ball here.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 4th down.
4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
Own side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. It's the Ravens out in front. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade.
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaud and Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football as they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go. What? 90.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Let's go. Grand 38.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with a run so far. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 3, 9.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland 1st.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6. So it goes for a rookie quarterback. He had the INT earlier in this first half, but he bounces back with a touchdown pass.
And you have to like the mental acumen, the toughness, the fortitude of him, because oftentimes for a rookie, you throw an interception early, you're taken right out of the game, or mentally you check out a little bit. Give him a lot of credit for bouncing back.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead is now 10-7. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. Now, I'm not going to say you completely abandon the passing game, but it would really behoove them to get this running game going more.
That's the identity most teams are seeking. Able to establish themselves, control the game by running it. have to touch it multiple times in order to have success in this game.
Yeah, as we say, yeah, that's right. As we say all the time, that sets up the passing game. I feel like a broken record with that.
Listen, we can be broken records all we want. Bottom line is, lather up that big horse and let him run.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Here we go. What?
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Ellis. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. His first catch there. Good for 10 yards and a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
They go play action here on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Higgins. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they're going to have a third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Come on, let's go. What? 90.
Now flags come in. I think one of the Ravens got going a little early.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still third down.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long.
Here we go. What? 90.
They're going to look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And I think the Browns got it. They did. Oftentimes you say some guys have a knack for creating turnovers. He forced a fumble last week. Forces another one.
And one of my good coaching buddies, Frank Delano, always told me, hey, Davis, creating turnovers is not as much about skill as it is about desire.
Oh, I thought it was going to be will, because will rhymed with skill.
Come on, man.
With desire. We'll go with desire.
What are you, the rhyme master now?
The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn it into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him. One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to...
They'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Lamb. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
He'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now they try the right side here. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
All right, here we go.
Right back to him on first down. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Here we go now. Boo, line it.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
The team's coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier, and this time there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
That was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from Cleveland after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Here we go. What? 9.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Back to throw. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Here's Michael Pilardi now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return, and the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him with contract time.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
What part do they went empty set there? No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Let's go. 38.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Come on, let's go. What? 9.
They'll look to throw here. Looking left side, he's got it complete. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play.
Let's go. What? 9.
Back to throw now on first down. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And nothing there on the return. They got the football, but they'll have to start this drive at their own 4-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He hasn't had his best day. They have been good running the football, and they have the lead, though, so maybe he just personally wants to improve his play.
And that's without a doubt, because at the end of the game, he wants to feel like he had a really good hand in his team winning, if in fact they do go on and get that done. But the bottom line is finding a way to win the game. So if you're not playing that well, but somebody else is on the team, keep going to that hot hand.
Yeah, not over yet, but looking good here in the second quarter. And throwing to start the drive, but that went incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
On 3rd down, it's McGee, and they'll bring him down right around the 13. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. The Browns send out their punter now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start over in Texas at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, where you see the final score there. Isaiah Crowell, a touchdown catch in the victory. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And it was the visiting LA Rams who get the victory in that one. Baker Mayfield, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. And then lastly, on Monday Night Football, those fans will be riled up as it'll be a good matchup between their guys and the LA Chargers. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
So much for halftime adjustments by the defense because you know they had to talk about it. The entire first half, they struggled to contain it. And here he is coming out in the second half and establishing the same tone. Still running the football with authority, still gaining big yardage. So I just figure on the offensive side, they said, well, there is no adjustment. Until they slow us down, keep going at them, keep handing them the football.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now let's go.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there. This quarterback now just 7 of 15 so far, but he's got a 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Looking to throw. And It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. A gain of 6 there on first.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it first and goal.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Now let's go.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great effort there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line, the two-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any X closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Here we go.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
Let's go.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
That's complete right around the 8. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Come on, let's go! Grand 38!
His pass caught at the full zone for a Ravens touchdown. In for the score. And the Ravens have cut it to within a score. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will get him one closer. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Flushed out right. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerated.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
All right, here we go. Green, 39!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on second down.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And the punter's on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one. And, folks, this is a 67-yard attempt. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. The Browns send out their punter now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And he spins through. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Let's go! What?
He'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. They'll set up a throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is caught. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Ravens are in for 6. Charles, there aren't really any slow receivers, but there's fast and then really fast. He's really fast, and he showed off the afterburners there.
And that he is, because when he took off, I was thinking there is no chance that he can actually reach him with that pass. Yet he did, and he's still sprinting. And just think about what that does for everyone else on his team, because his ability to stretch a field opens things up for the rest of the receivers on the team.
They'll drop the throw, and this will be caught as they convert here for 2. So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Ravens have got it.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him.
Come on, let's go!
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one's maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Throwing for his running back, but he's got him complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag, and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
All right, here we go.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And bulldozing his way through. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the 4th.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
And they'll run it here. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
He'll grab 3 yards on the play, taking it himself for the first down.
Well, they pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go with it back, maybe try and get a lead blocker in front. But as you talked about in different games, those guys with confidence in their offensive line, they just want to move forward and get it.
A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Here we go now. 319.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Not even a chance to pitch that one as he's swallowed up in the backfield. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to, you and your brothers, just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10.
Here we go.
On play action, they'll throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
Here we go. White 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives them a new set of downs.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion and the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. Now back to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made.
Here we go!
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And unable to get downhill there, so he'll take this up to about the 37. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 9.
Here we go! 38!
They'll set up to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Higgins. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
Come on, let's go!
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Let's go! 38!
Back to throw here. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
And the Browns getting set to go. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And the pressure gets to him again.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. That's caught inside the 20. That goes as a gain of 36 on 3rd down. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
But that certainly felt like an example of a defense just saying, okay, we've had enough. We've gotten mashed all night long. About time we got a good play in to flip it over to the offensive side. They've got to be really upset that they allowed a play like that to happen.
And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turnover 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing. But I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Only able to make it to the 15 after the nice move. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence for him and for themselves.
Complete. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. And now this defense trying to use the clock to their advantage. They'll take the timeout here with 2:08 left. And then they'll have another stop coming up at the 2-minute warning. Here's Michael Pilardi now. He's been terrific so far. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. There he goes inside the 30. And finally marked down at the 23. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, 2nd down. They took their shot for the end zone, almost cost them.
And he made the right play there, knocking it away. But, boy, it looked like he had a chance to come down with the football. And if he does that, this thing is over. Instead, he leaves them out there with another chance.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he took the contact as he was throwing it. And the ball drops incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here? Or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
So a big kick to get this back to even. Now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal the other way, that does you in.
You're exactly right. You didn't get into overtime yet. So now as a defense, you've got to think to yourself, you can't play prevent defense and just give up big chunks of yardage in front of you. But you also can't let anyone behind you. So you sit right on the line between the two, play the best defense you can, and not make it easy for them to move the ball downfield.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Throw left side complete. It's Ellis. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He got 29 yards that time. They'll look to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th.
Come on, let's go! What? 90! What? 90!
Now a handoff looking right. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock.
Come on, let's go! Try that 38!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining. So it's up now to one of the most accurate kickers in NFL history, Justin Tucker. He did have one blocked earlier. This time it's for the win. And the 38-year-old vet able to split the uprights. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. And you know, in an era of cost-cutting and maximizing your roster, this is a club that does not skimp on special teams, and in these situations, it pays dividends.
And that's great vision by the organization. When the difference between winning or losing depends on who you have kicking the ball, would you rather have a street free agent out there or a solid pro like this? Answer's pretty evident to me.
Leopard! Gone! 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 Gone!
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Ravens, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Browns, the perfect season was apparently not meant to be as they drop to 7-1. And they'll take this loss into the bye as they'll be back in action in Week 10. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.